Cleansing the consciousness. Whilst doing all of the very necessary work of mental, emotional cleansing, use my words in the foregoing pages describing that which has brought you and all the world into visible being, to build up an awareness and contact with its powerful divine consciousness. Out of that contact will come the inspiration and strength to accomplish the cleansing more swiftly. As the cleansing takes place, you will experience newfound happiness and fulfillment in every area of your life. You will also receive inspired directions in regard to your daily lives, either during your meditation or like a ray of light in your mind when you are at peace and thinking of some mundane matter. If you do not discount or reject these directions, but follow them faithfully and carefully, you will be taking your first steps to becoming, eventually, a great and successful planter and reaper of creative ideas in your environment. Everything connected to you will blossom, flourish, and prosper. Everything will respond and bless you with newness of life. If you discipline yourself in meditating daily with undeviating devotion, you will eventually begin to feel a response and inflow of that which brought you into being. And the words you are using will take on new meaning. The words will be imbued with universal life. You will be filled with joy and will rejoice exceedingly, because you will then know the power is real and active in your mind and life. You will come to rely ever more confidently on the power beginning to be manifested in your affairs. You will want to draw others in your state of blessed harmony, for other people will be aware of it and ask you about it. Not only this, you will be experiencing a new kind of brotherly love and will want to share what makes you happy with other people. I cannot emphasize this truth enough, this need to meditate, since so many people give up the search and the self-discipline of daily listening before they have fully cleansed their consciousness and arrived at that state of inner purification so necessary to making perfect contact with the universal consciousness, the source of your being. When you do make contact, seeming miracles happen. This is the commencement of the universal power taking on form and shape in your soul, body, mind, heart, and circumstances. I tell you, truly, you may trust my words implicitly. If you persevere, there will come a moment when you actually feel the contact and know that you have made contact. You have then reached a most crucial time in your spiritual human development. For a few hours, so many souls feel uplifted and joyful. But then the daily cares intrude into their minds, and they intellectualize the experience. They explain it away in human terms. Do not do this, for you will lose what you have been given. you will greatly delay your spiritual progress. If you read these words and are afraid to believe them, or believe they are foolishness, or feel you will lose prestige if you believe them, you are making a creative form in consciousness which will negate any constructive response you may have originally had to this letter. So I say to you, cherish your moments of belief. Preserve your special times of contact with that which brought you into being. Believe in them and hold them fast in your consciousness, and gradually you will move forward on to the heights of spiritual consciousness, to great insight and joy. Again, I say, do not put these letters to one side. I cannot sufficiently emphasize your need to think about them. Recall what they have to say. If you cannot remember, then return and read them again, and yet again, and yet again, until they have been absorbed into your consciousness. The more you meditate on them daily, so will they be clarified in your mind and will come to have ever greater meaning for you. Eventually, you will find that they have been like food and drink, building up your morale and determination to help change your present conditions into those of harmony, widespread growth, prosperity, and peace. Great inspiration and joy will be yours when you come to realize that the immensity of that which brought you into being is radiant, rapturous, ecstatic power beyond your present capacity to dream and imagine. It is reality. It is the source of being, the source of everything that you see in your natural living world and in many levels of existence beyond the one you presently inhabit. When you are abundantly receiving divine consciousness into your mind, yourself, into every facet of your existence, then you will begin to see the enormous difference. You will look back at the times of stress and unhappiness and see that gradually the limitations of your life will have yielded to greater blessedness. This becomes an ongoing process in your life. Be of good heart. It is truly I, the Christ, who is reaching out to you and the world through the medium of these letters. I particularly want to impress on your minds the way I have deliberately made statements in the past pages to lift your thoughts to a higher level of consciousness, depicting the benefits to be derived from working to elevate your consciousness by ridding it of the negative traits mentioned at the beginning of this letter 6. I want you to realize fully that I have only come to help you rid yourself of the undesirable, ego-driven thoughts and emotions presently controlling your mind. I am also here expressly to encourage and help you. Yes, help you develop within your mind and heart all the love-based thoughts and emotions which will bring you into harmony with divine consciousness. It is my most urgent and loving purpose to bring you out of the gray shades of existence which you presently inhabit into the sunshine of spiritual enlightenment that awaits you when you have conquered the ego drives, become unified with your soul, and father-mother life, and moved into the harmony of unconditional love for all. Therefore, I will repeat the list of negative characteristics set out at the beginning of this letter 6. I want you to read them carefully and watch your own reactions and feelings as you go through them slowly. Criticism, sarcasm, judgmentalism, rejection, denigration, enmity, intolerance, hatred, jealousy, aggression, violent impulses, thieving, falsehoods, double and devious dealings, slander. How do you begin to get rid of any of those you know to be part of your consciousness? Do not be too ashamed to face up to them, since you are a human being and have been born under the influence of these characteristics of the ego. So do not be too afraid or too downcast to face up to them. Take the first step in total honesty and write them down. The second step is to take the sheet of paper and lie down and place it on your chest. Close your eyes and reach out in thought to the divine reality, your source of being, which you should now realize is your loving procreator, your true spiritual father, mother, which radiates unstintingly and continually and consistently unconditional parenting love. Give time to quietening your mind until you feel that you are moving beyond your own consciousness. Then ask in perfect faith and expect an immediate answer, since you are operating in consciousness, for help in removing, dissolving, overcoming the false and unnecessary rejection ego drives in all the days to come. Emotionally, you make it clear to your spiritual father or divine reality, and therefore to yourself, that you want no more of these ego negatives in your consciousness. You ask for the inspiration and strength to make every effort to avoid or deny them from that day forward. By following this course of action, you are creating a new consciousness form, which now begins to infiltrate and take over your present consciousness. Your intention now becomes your reality. The former negative characteristics written on your piece of paper and taken to your spiritual father are now in a limbo of rejection in your consciousness. This conscious rejection is also the means of drawing divine power into your consciousness to help you strengthen your resolve and remembrance to discard any impulses which may erupt from the rejected characteristics. Therefore, as you can probably see, the surrender and meditation have set in motion unseen work in consciousness, of which you will probably be unaware until you later wake up to the fact that the characteristics have disappeared. I would earnestly urge you to take the paper of characteristics into meditation several times. Each time you do so, you draw into your own consciousness a further injection of Father-Mother consciousness life power into your purpose of overcoming and ridding your consciousness of unwanted consciousness forms and forces. When they have been dissolved, they will no longer draw into your circumstances the negative and unhappy shadows which plagued you before. You will be traveling a higher path to freedom. As you progress, you will come to perceive little faults of consciousness in your mind and heart which never seemed to be wrong before. And when this happens, you must go through the same procedure of writing them down and taking them in utter faith to your spiritual Father. Now, there is one more thing you must do to complete this rebuilding of your consciousness. In place of criticism, sarcasm, judgmentalism, rejection, denigration, enmity, intolerance, hatred, jealousy, aggression, violent impulses, thieving, falsehoods, double and devious dealings, slander, you must write down on a piece of paper, in gold letters if possible, to give you a sense of beauty and glow about the attributes, the golden qualities of divine consciousness of which you want to be possessed by and to express in future. To be in perfect harmony with your divine reality, your spiritual Father, each attribute will be founded on unconditional love and will promote the highest good of others. For no longer will you seek to put others down in order to make yourself feel greater and more self-confident. Your entire consciousness will be directed to affirming other people and building up everything within your orbit. You will seek to nourish, nurture, teach, protect, maintain, fulfill the needs of others, and seek to lovingly establish order out of chaotic, mindless actions. Having written your golden aspirations on your sheet of paper, again, lie down and reach out to your divine reality and ask that the beautiful impulses, the nature of the divine, may gradually spread through your mind and heart and become your own consciousness. When this happens, your soul will be like a baby chick, pecking and pecking, breaking its shell to emerge into the wonder of the great big world, to be united with Mother Hen, patiently waiting for her child to rejoin her. This is how it is with me and all other Christed souls. We wait and watch and help the people who long to find out the cause of their emptiness of spirit, who set their hearts on transcending earthly occupations, while minds are being drawn to higher purposes in life, and to dream of coming into perfect attunement with their own souls and their divine source of being. We yearn with love over the spiritual travelers more than the travelers even suspect. This means that we yearn with love over you who are reading this letter. When you are again united with your source of being, you will have achieved your true purposes on earth. You will have accomplished your true mission in eternity. And now, let your real life begin. You will have entered the kingdom of heaven. I will not tell you what qualities to write for your new consciousness. These must come out of your present perceptions of the highest and best. Again, study the divine nature of divine consciousness, which I perceived so clearly in the desert and described for you in letter 1. Let this divine nature become your own nature. I want you to know that when you embark on this journey in true sincerity, I will be at your side in every eventuality. It is my dearest wish that you will come to know that I am with you and that I am sending you support and strength in your quest to become unified with your divine reality.